The Wilson County School Board is taking action tonight focused on safety when it matters most. They have now approved a series of emergency plans designed to protect students, staff, and the community. The district is looking to partner with Boxwell Scout Reservation, creating a safe evacuation site for LaGuardo Elementary if needed. The board also signed off on a plan to step in and help evacuate train passengers if a WeGo Star train cannot finish its route. And in times of severe weather, which we know happens here in the spring, school buildings could double as temporary disaster shelters. It's all a part of a broader push tonight to make sure Wilson County is ready for whatever comes next.